Welcome into the Quest Number 9 podcast. My name is Seth Warner, and we're just here to talk about Kentucky's big round of 64 win. We're doing a rapid reaction to this, or do an instant reaction to this, with Kentucky playing Troy in this game, where Kentucky ended up winning 76-57 in this game, where Kentucky in the first half really struggled, starting out 1 for 8 from three, and that 1 3 being from Andrew Carr. But from this team, one of the big plays for me in this game is Amari Williams going full court dunk, where he looked very agile, athletic. I felt he got fouled at the very beginning when he brought the ball. He ripped the ball across and put it in front of him, trying to take it full court. I felt like he got fouled in this game. Otega Owe was dominant in this game, having 20 points with 6 assists, 8 boards. And Kentucky overall in this game was just really complete. Overall, early in this game, Troy shot the ball pretty well, making about 4 threes, I think, in the first half, if I'm correct. It was a low scoring game in the first half, but in the first few minutes, it felt like Kentucky was really going to have a high scoring game, with these two teams scoring 35 and 27 points respectively in the first half. I felt like Kentucky really, especially in the second half, really turned it up, the pace of the game, and both teams, especially when the lead expanded for Kentucky, really got stagnant, and the ball control wasn't good for Kentucky in the second half. Like I was saying, Otega Owe played well. He had 20 points with 8 assists. Or let me get that stat in front of me. He had 20 points with 8 rebounds and 6 assists. He had several turnovers, ending the game with 3 turnovers. Still had a really strong assist-turnover ratio. It just felt like a lot of those were all at one time, where he threw the ball away a few different times. But overall, I felt like he did a really strong job of controlling the game, controlling the tempo, and being that downhill attacker. He had 10 points in the first 10 minutes of the game. He was really physical and had a really good ability to get downhill. And Kentucky just did a good job of dominating the perimeter and the interior, especially in the first half, with Andrew Carr getting hot. Him, like I said, scoring one of our only threes. He ended up having a very productive game, having 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Not his best performance, but still a really strong game from the Wake Forest transfer, who's really started to get into his own the last few weeks. He had, 13 points. The guy that really I thought was strong in this game, had the highlight of the game to me, it was Amari Williams. He had the poster full court dunk that I was talking about. He had 13 boards, 4 assists, and 5 points. He only shot 2 for 8 from the field, struggled in that aspect, struggled from the free throw line, being 1 for 5. But overall, I thought he was very strong in this game. Being able to play through contact was a little bit of a problem as a guy that's as big and strong as he is. He got those wide shoulders sometimes. He doesn't know how to use his body, so he's out of control. But overall, I thought Kentucky executed pretty well in the offense. But this Troy team, I thought, did a good job of disrupting Kentucky's rhythm. Especially, they did a better job controlling us in transition in the first half, and in the second half. The start and where Kentucky lost the lead a little bit is where Kentucky really lost their lead, where it went from 20 to about 13. Is those turnovers in fast break that would lead to steals, where this Troy team ended up with 10 steals in this game out of Kentucky's 10 turnovers. So they were all steals. Kentucky didn't have any non-live ball turnovers. That's something I'm not a huge fan of, especially against this Troy team that tries to create a lot of points off of turnovers. But Kentucky was able to clean that up in the second half and overall just be really consistent. I thought Kentucky Sorry about that. I thought Kentucky really was able to use their physicality in the whole game. Like I was saying, Otega Owe was dominant in this game, scoring Kobe Brea really started to strike fire in the second half. I thought he did a good job when they were running him off the line, being able to finish around the basket. He's done a lot better of that, a lot better job of that, becoming more of a well-rounded player. He had 13 points. He shot 50% from three. Usually when he makes more than 3 threes is usually when this Kentucky team wins or has a really good performance. And in this game, he made 3 threes, was 3 for 6 from three. So with this Kentucky team, we were really able to control the pace in the second half, where we had a 20-point lead in multiple times in this game. Ended up clearing out the bench at the end of the game. Really good story. Zach Tao, the junior from Madisonville. If you haven't heard, he's a walk-on who actually did the walk-on tryouts. He was able to play. He played the little less than a minute of the game. And like I said, Kobe Brea played well. Lamont Butler didn't score, but I thought he did some good things. Had a few errant passes that had turnovers. He ended up with 2 turnovers, but he still had 3 assists with 2 boards. He was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, but they all looked good, and he'll keep on getting more and more comfortable as the postseason goes along, and he's not a guy I'm going to worry about the moment being too big. As the San Diego State guy, that been a big storyline of him making that shot and being LaMarch, as Andrew Carr has his nickname. And Kentucky overall really got their heavy production from like 5 different guys, especially points wise. That was Otega Oweh, like I talked about, Kobe Brea, Andrew Carr, Brandon Garrison, and then Colin Chandler. All were around that double-digit mark, with Colin Chandler having a really strong performance, being 2 for 2 from the field, or 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 4 from three, having a really nice pump fake, like dribble into a three, that side step three over Callaway, their best player. So he's a 6'3" guard where he's a little bit taller, and Callaway even had a chance to block it from behind, but Chandler still did a good job at using his long arms and his long frame to still shoot over him. And Kentucky in this game really was able to control the rhythm, especially for, I say, 95% of this game. The largest lead I think they were down by was 3. I'll rewatch the game to refresh some of that, but that's from my memory. Kentucky in the first half, like I said, struggled, but they ended up getting to that double-digit 3 mark, being 10 for 26 from 3 at 38%. This Troy team struggled as usual from 3, being 8 for 32 at 25%, a team that averages about 28% from 3. Shot around 34% from the field. That's worse than what they typically do, but I thought they played well, disrupting the game and being able to be disruptive in everything they do. In this Troy team was really physical, especially at the point of attack, with Callaway getting some early foul trouble, but he did a good job getting several steals. He had 1 steal, but as a team, like I said, they had 10 steals. Both teams played a lot of guys, kind of got into that bench, but overall, Kentucky was really balanced, and I thought their effort and really was able to make this Troy team make shots from the perimeter, where over the year has really proved that they're not a perimeter shot making team. Kentucky was really able to capitalize on some of their turnovers and limit their chances, is really what was going to decide this game. If you gave them 10, 15 more shots than Kentucky, I would maybe say Troy has a chance. But Kentucky in this game allowed 11 offensive rebounds, so there's 7, but that's only 4. And then the turnover battle was about close. So Kentucky had 10 turnovers to where they won the turnover battle 11-10. So I thought Kentucky did a strong job controlling that pace and understanding how the game was going to flow and staying through the storm, similar to kind of how St. John's did the other night, where it was really close at halftime, but it was a 20. Heck, Kentucky had at like 25 at certain points. Kentucky was really able to control the pace of the game and play how they wanted to play. And off the bench, like I said, Brandon Garrison was another guy that was in double figures. He was 5 for 7 from the floor, 1 for 3 from 3, 6 boards, 2 assists, 13 points. He had a really nice drop step. It was Lamont Butler, had a nice little in the lane pass. He had a one dribble drop step into a nice little finish. He was dominant with some of the physicality and the size advantage he had this game. Trent Noah knocked down a 3. He did a good job in Kentucky. One of Kentucky's first runs, he was on the floor. He had a little bit of foul trouble, having 3 fouls in this game, having 2 early in the first half. Where Kentucky got a 10-point lead in the first half is where he was in, and he got his second foul. And then Kentucky kind of steadied down from there and never was able to go on another really big run till the second half, where they had several. They had one 15-0 run. They had one, I think it was 14-1. So Kentucky had several big runs to extend their lead to, like I said, as many as 25 and really be able to control the pace of this game and be able to put Kentucky in a situation that tonight, I'm recording this at 9:58 because this is live. They're going to be playing the winner of, let's see if that game is live yet. No, it comes on at 9:57, so it should be going live any minute. Xavier, Illinois is who they're going to be playing the winner of. And those two teams are interesting matchups with one of the Illinois coaches used to be on Cal staff before he left. So I'll dig into more about them tomorrow for our next episode. I'll be coming out with another episode tomorrow. I'll rewatch the game a few times and figure out what Kentucky did well, and then I'll preview what Kentucky needs to do against either Xavier or Illinois that we'll know tonight. And that's all from the Quest Number 9 podcast. I'm going to have a new article out hopefully tomorrow, probably around midday, at questnumber9.com if you want to go check that out if you like this content. And please like and subscribe. You can go find us at Quest Number 9 on Instagram and Twitter, aka X. And I will see you next time.